Imagine if you have the ball.
Yeah, if you're the pitcher.
I didn't realize this, actually. Alex, you called for this now to see what he's doing as a starting pitcher, as a hitter, when he's also pitching. He's hitting 380.
Yeah, I mean,
wow.
Look at that.
That's crazy.
I mean, because the conversations you're having as a starting pitcher in between innings, things like that, you're talking with your catcher, you're trying to figure out, okay, what adjustments do I need to make going into the next inning, going over your game plans, and also talking about the previous inning. And you're trying to make those adjustments with your catcher in between innings. Well, he's got a hit, so does the catcher. So you're not always having that communication that you typically would have with a guy that's only worried about pitching, at least from a catcher's standpoint. So you have to really be on your game as Ohtani and whoever's catching him, as far as your game plan on the pitching side, and then that way it'll allow you to do what you need to do to be successful in the batter's box as well.
Yeah, I think one thing you think about him, we say, how do you do that? How does your mentality? I know it's tough enough as a hitter, then I go play first base and I wouldn't, like Alex said, I wouldn't have the ball. But I think the one thing is, when you really look at it, he's been doing that since he was in Japan all those years.
Right.
And I think you develop that mental toughness to be able to, it's a skill he's developed in his brain to think differently than anyone else in Major League Baseball history.
Routine.
And do it at that level. His routine has got to be so right on.
I didn't think you could be done in this day and age the way game planning is done. Because it was one thing in Ruth's day where you're kind of like, manager might give you a little tip here and there, but other than that, you're just playing.
Right.
And now
you might get something from the umpire.
Right. But you wouldn't. Right. You wouldn't be going through the things that they go through on a normal basis now. And it's interesting. All your years, Alex was a catcher in the major leagues. Your mindset is still on pitching and catching. You're as a catcher, you're still talking to your pitcher. You're still locked in on defense, even when you're in there until it's time to go up and take your hacks.
Even when it's time for you to get ready to hit, though. I mean, I remember countless times trying to get my stuff off, getting ready to hit, and Scherzer, somebody's like, we're talking about, the previous inning as I'm getting up there. So it's something that you're processing as a catcher at all times until you get to the batter's box. But what Ohtani's doing is incredible. I mean, it's hard to fathom as a ex-player him being able to do that at that level.